Brandon Martin, J-Man's Legit, Eric Lima, Michael Bombardier, Andrew Hawking, William Braun, Uriel Ibarra, the Rant and Rave Podcast Archives.
Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to the Rant and Rave Podcast, as we talk about some wrestling news and other news of the current events here in America. And now, here's your host of the Rant and Rave Podcast, Brandon Martin and Jordan Little.
All right, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the third edition of the Rant and Rave Podcast with one of the hosts, Brandon Martin, and the other one next to me is Mr. Jordan Little.
It's good to be back here, and let me just say, finally, after a 2-week hiatus, we are back on air. Now we're on Thursdays. That's right, Thursdays, no Sundays, nada, nothing. We are going to be doing this on Thursdays, and maybe we might change the time schedule, but who knows. But either way, we're live, broadcasting on separate, locations of the U.S. Brandon Martin from Oregon, me from South Carolina, and we're going to have a lot of topics to discuss, not just wrestling, mind you, but other things as well. And also, there will be like a special guest with us, a pro wrestler from what I'm being told, and I do not even know who it is, so I'm just as in the loop as you guys are. But with that being said, you know how this goes. First topic will go to Brandon, then I'll do my own topic, then it'll go back to him, then me, and then the third topic he will finally have will be back to him, and then the final topic I will have the chance to speak on, and then that is when we will do an interview. Well, I will add questions too. And right before Garrison Newkirk's stream. Yes, Mr. Garrison 96, formerly known as Mr. Garrison Film Reviews, which I will also discuss in a bit as to why that name change is there. But in the meantime, Brandon Martin, give us your first topic.
All right, my first topic we're going to talk about is the TV show that's been on for 11 seasons, Frasier. To give you like a little bit of a rundown, oh, hello there, Sophie C. How's it going? And Lar. Anyway, for Frasier, gives you a little bit of a quick story about this. Dr. Frasier Crane, a successful Boston therapist, moves to Seattle to get a new start on life. He has a radio talk show which he uses to relay his wit and wisdom to others. But at times he struggles with his own problems with his salt-on-the-earth father, his pretentious brother, and his friends and co-workers. And that first episode was the first episode dated on September 16th, 1993, in which it was on NBC. And then for the final episode, ended on May 13th, 2004. And it's been a lot of episodes. That's been 200 plus episodes, over 200 plus episodes on Frasier, in which we'll have the cast as well. We got Kelsey Grammer as Frasier, John Mahoney as Martin Crane, the dad, David Hyde Pierce as Niles Crane, Jane Lee's Daphne Moon as Daphne Moon, like the caregiver, Perry Gilpin as Roz Doyle, Moose as Eddie the dog, and then Dan Butler from that. He also, your dog is Jordan. Your dog is cute.
My dogs are cute. Missy and Cookie. Missy's right here sitting next to me, and my dog's on the sofa.
All right. Will this podcast on SoundCloud or like on the podcast app? That's a good question. Will that be on the SoundCloud or like on the podcast app? That's a good question.
Well, for audio, it'd be for podcast app, but for SoundCloud, is it also audio and video?
I think it's just audio only,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, well, look at us. We're not just audio, we're video.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, yeah, but continuing on with your topic.
Yeah, they've been, like I already mentioned, they've been running those seasons of Frasier for 11 seasons. Actually checked that 264 episodes of Frasier. And it's a good show to watch, and it's also streamed like on Netflix, Hulu, and on YouTube, but you have to pay for that throughout the seasons and all that if you want to watch it. I mean, I'm not going to spoil any episode you get that I currently watch or something like that, but please, I would highly recommend you check out Frasier. It's a great show, and it's based in Seattle, Washington, as well of the Pacific Northwest. And yeah, and that is my topic right there.
Okay. Now, for my topic, this is mostly an update for what you guys are about to hear. Now, if any of you are members of the network community that I'm also part of, I'm going to give you some insight, as to something that, just recently. Hold on.
Return of the Mac.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, we're not going to let anything distract us. Anyway, as I was saying, if you are a part of the network, you may notice that an incident occurred a couple of weeks ago around the original live stream for episode 7 of Flicks with the Dicks. Now, no, 97, I think. Did I say 97 or 7?
I think you said, I know for the fact about you said like 96, if I remember correctly.
No. I think if I said, okay, if I said something else in 97, I'm sorry. That's my botch. But still, okay. So, yeah, episode 96, I mean, 7, hot dang it, had to be redone because of an incident that occurred. Now, I'm not going to say any names because I'm not going to, reveal, who's the guilty party and all that. But I will say, however, that it all revolved. It was a fight that broke out in the live chat, and what happened was it was evolving around a movie. I think the movie was Rambo: Last Blood, from what I was told by someone I know and good friends with in the network. And apparently, these two had a disagreement. One of them liked it, the other disliked it, and it was a complete utter crap show. And it involved emotions to run high. I don't know what happened. It was in the live chat of that very episode. And plus, I think it might have caused a little bit of triggerness and, into one of the hosts. So basically, yeah. Then 24 hours after that, not only did Garrison Newkirk remove that episode, he not to redo it for next week's show. He and Jerome Latimer announced that after episode 100 of Flicks with the Dicks, it will be that will be the end of the Flicks with the Dicks era. It'll be continued with a new name called Bofas on the Sofas. Now, if you don't know what that means, it's like an inside joke where on episode 88 of Flicks with the Dicks, shut up, Kevin.
Dang it!
You're lucky I don't remove that comment just for being silly. Anyway, as I was saying, what happened is that they're gonna at episode number 88 of Flicks of the Dicks. If you can tell, Garrison Newkirk is reading Dr. Seuss books, and because of this, that's when he if you watch it and go there, you'll see why they're gonna call it Bofas on the Sofas, or why they do call it that, based off a Dr. Seuss book. But however, that doesn't mean they're going to stop talking about films. They'll be talking about past films, not the current films in general, because the reason why the current film industry as of today has become so toxic and become a toxic environment, it has ruined decades of friendships. I'm not kidding you. And it's become to a point where, okay, you know how, in this world we live in, there are two things we do not discuss, right? Or two things that people do not discuss: religion and politics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently that's become the same way with the film community, because it's become so toxic nobody can't talk, have fun with a topic like that. I mean, and if you can't have fun discussing a film for a topic, then what's the point? Because even if they don't agree with you, I mean, it's so stupid. Because if I remember correctly, Brandon, I think if I remember, you and me had a little bit, just one little disagreement of who's going to win the AEW Tag Team Championship tournament. You see, you're going to choose Lucha Brothers, I choose SCU, but guess what? We didn't argue and complain about that. You know why? Because we're not going to let our emotions get the better of us and find out who's right and who's wrong.
Exactly.
So there. So folks out there, I'm going to let you in on something. If you have a disagreement with a friend, when it comes down to, like, say, movies and all that stuff, don't let it get to you. People have their own honest to God take and their opinion, okay? Let them have their own opinion. Either respect it or just ignore it and move on. Otherwise, you'll be losing some friends and you'll be losing a lot of things in life, you know. I'm just saying. That's just my take right there. So that's the reason why after episode 100 of Flicks with the Dicks, it will be the end of that name. But it will continue on with a new name, Bofas on the Sofas, episode 101. And that is why it's changing. So that is my topic right there. The second topic you're having right now, Brennan, and it is...
And it's going to be AEW Dynamite. AEW. Exactly. From last night in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Home of the Steelers and also the Pirates.
And the home of Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle.
Exactly, yep.
Who won with a broken freaking neck.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that guy.
Yeah, anyway. To get on to my topic, though, we had one of... Shut it, Kevin.
He's already made his choice. He's with NXT. Don't worry about that. And see, that's another thing. The differences, opinions, and takes, see?
Exactly, there you go. But anyway.
Well, that got me. So go ahead.
All right. The first match we got is the Tag Team Championship Tournament semifinal match. We got Private Party taking on the Lucha Brothers. And then the result for that, the Lucha Brothers are moving on to the finals as they defeat Private Party. And, yeah, that's awesome, Sophie.
You know, me and Sophie can agree on one thing about Kurt Angle because I kind of consider Kurt Angle being one of my favorites, too.
And they gave this grade level, and hot dang grade levels.
They can suck it for all I care.
Yeah. Hey, police report. We got 2 words for you. Suck it. Anyway.
What's the grade report level?
And they gave this a tag team match for one of these semifinal matchups a solid B.
A B?
Yes, and that's it.
Pay no attention to that comment. Just move on.
All right. Anyway, to move on from that, and no comment on that one. And we got the final of the last of our semifinals, the Tag Team Championship Tournament. We got SCU versus the Dark Order. And the result in that, SCU moves on to the finals to face the Lucha Brothers as they defeated the Dark Order. And they gave this grade level a B+.
So they give the Lucha Brothers advancing a B, but they give the SCU a B+.
Yep.
By the way, who's the one who called that? Before they even had those matches.
If I remember correctly, I mean we both did. I knew it was coming.
Yeah, I know, but I said it first.
I know. Anyway, but
somebody had to say it first. But
exactly.
Here's the funny thing. I knew somehow, some way that was going to lead up to that because let's face facts. I mean, somebody had to make a storyline with Daniels being taken out and have, oh my God, what's his name? To take his place. What son of a Kevin Alvarez?
Not now, Kevin.
You are that was a dick move. Anyway, Anyway, God, I can't remember what that guy's name was who teams up with Kazarian now to take Daniels' place.
Scorpio Sky.
Scorpio Sky, thank you. I'm sorry. I knew.
No worries.
I knew it was something that had something to do with Scorpio and something, but I you know what's so funny? He used to be Harold off during the Daniel Bryan and Kane anger management segments.
Yeah.
Look at him now. He's in the big time.
Yep, for sure.
Okay. What else? What else?
All right. The next match we got is Kenny Omega, the Cleaner, taking on the bad boy, Joey Janela. Second time colliding with each other on that. And for the result for that, Kenny Omega getting the victory over Joey Janela, and they gave this grade level a solid A.
Makes it like a 4.5, I would believe.
Yeah.
I got no problem with that. In fact, that was a good match. No lie.
Yep, and it's not a match for self, but Cody speaks on to the AEW World Champion Chris Jericho. And, it's kind of funny, though, to be honest, though, Jordan. Cody Rhodes and with his little friends of MJF and Dustin Rhodes.
Yeah.
And a lot of those, and DDP as well.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what Cody did? And he did with MJF's scarf, and he...
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That was good.
And then they had a big brawl out of nowhere inside the arena. Like, all hell's breaking loose.
All hell's breaking loose. My God. My God.
And I mean, and they gave this, the Cody Speaks promo and all that. They gave it a solid A.
Well, they better have. And by the way, just so we're clear, Jay Houston.
My man. What's going on, Jay?
Nothing much. We're just continuing on with this episode after a 2-week hiatus. By the way, in my view, you realize that because Jericho and the others, they had tickets, right? So you could consider attacking a legalized, fan with a ticket like assault and battery, right? Regardless with or without a contract with AEW, you know that, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Cody, I would have to say you better watch out, because what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, bad boys.
All right. Move on from there. We got the Young Bucks taking on Best Friends. And the Young Bucks win over Best Friends.
Because they didn't hug too much in the match, of course.
Yep. And we're doing great, though, Jay. Anyway.
Awesome.
And they gave this grade level for this tag team match play. Holla, holla, holla. A B+.
Another B+ for a tag match?
Yeah.
Wait, what's with the B's? It's like they're the B's. You know what I mean? Yeah. And if you put the itches in the B's, you have my exact opinion on Bleacher Report.
Yeah, for sure. All right. And then we got the next one, Dr. Britt Baker making her hometown of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, called it. Did you all watch NXT yet?
Sorry, Jay. But continue.
Anyway, and you know what? Call for Pittsburgh became Britsburg, as she faced up against Jamie Hayter. And then for that match, Dr. Britt Baker defeated Hayter and gave this women's match a B+.
Another B+?
Yeah.
Hold the phone. And by the way, just so you guys know, Kevin's still calling me on Facebook. I have no why, but I turned the ringer off because I didn't want any noises, but hot dang it. Kevin, if you're watching this, please stop with the calls. We got a show to do. Okay? Please?
Yes.
Begging you. Okay. Yeah. Now, as far as these B+, I mean, like, hot dang. It's like nothing can impress these people if it goes to the A. But then again, they'd be too biased.
Exactly.
Oh, by the way, I just heard that the next pay-per-view event for AEW Full Gear, it will also be on Bleacher Report Live.
Oh, yeah. And we'll be doing that live stream coming up on November 9th.
Oh, not just that one, mind you. There's another one.
Oh, yeah, right.
WWE Crown Jewel, but we won't get into that. We'll get to that in another time. Anyway, let's. So they grade that with another B+.
Yep, for the women's match, yes.
Those morons. Okay, now what else we got?
We got is John Moxley taking on Adrian Pac, or the Bastard.
Adrian Pac.
Yes, exactly.
Bastard.
Yeah, and then the result of that match, Moxley and Pac fought to a draw.
To a TV time limit draw. I mean, I saw that and I thought that was bull crap.
And they gave this grade for that match a solid B.
So basically, okay, except for the match between Kenny Omega and Joey Janela, which is an A, all the other matches they gave out were either B's or B pluses.
Yeah.
What? How many times are these morons going to get away with this? God dang it.
Anyway.
Kill somebody.
Anyway, that will be my second topic for AEW Dynamite.
Yeah. Stupid. The Bleacher Report, they are freaking stupid. Okay. Now, I think, hold on. Okay. Now, as for my topic, oh boy. Well, I would have to say that it will evolve around WWE, but it won't be like about the WWE event in general, like WWE Crown Jewel. It will basically be about their video game recently that came out, WWE 2K20. I've been playing it, in here because I've been signing in with my dad's Xbox One. Now I know what you're thinking. No, I am not going to give out any spoilers whatsoever. I mean, I'm not going to do that because I'm not that horrible of a person to give out spoilers. But I will say the gameplay, it's a little bit different, especially with the new ways how to block, how to run, and all that bull crap. 2K games, I don't know who the crap you guys think you are, especially with the fact with you having to part ways with Ukes. But here's the thing: if you're gonna keep things on a great on a pattern, like to keep the same thing you've done over and over and over again, which is fine. I'm not gonna complain. Ever since you made those controls the same since WWE 2K15. When they had to be remastered for the Xbox One and PS3 or PS4, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here's the problem I have. The problem is you need to own up to your sugar honey iced tea, because I'm telling you, this is, by God, this is why people are pissed off at this game. And not only that, the graphics, I need to be in it. I am the king and not fair. The king needs to learn some grammar.
Hot dang it, Kevin.
What the heck? All the bees. Stop all the bees rating stupid Bleacher Report. Exactly. Thank you, Jay.
Oh, hey there. Hey, my good friend Sergio. How's it going, my man?
Original Family Productions. Hey, y'all. How's it going? Doing good. Never seen this one before, but good to meet you. Anyway, the thing is, also the gameplay, especially with a few lags and all that. Let me tell you something. Brandon, this past what was it? When was it when you showed me that video of that referee?
Yesterday, though, Jordan.
Oh my God, that video that's probably viral. That referee, virtually, glitchingly dry humping the face of Charlotte Flair. Oh my God! If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I think Brandon will put a link of it a bit later. But the point is, yeah, that's bad. Glitches like that are bad. It's not even funny. And actually, it is funny because after all, that way it gives you a good laugh. But it's like if it happened in real life, now that'd be sexual harassment. Different. Yeah. Now, as far as the gameplay, I'm telling you, I can get used to the controls, just not the entire game in general because of the graphics and all other BS. In fact, when you're creating your superstar, did you know, like, when you turn your its head, it goes like this. Watch my eyes. It goes like I'm like, hey, keep it looking straight, like somewhere. I mean, like, God, I haven't played any 2K games since 2K17. Yeah, well, at least you've been, well, good thing you missed out on this one. But then again, if you get back into it, I strongly advise you play the other two 2K games just for the heck of it. But in the meantime, there you go, folks. There's like my take on it. I'm not saying I'm still playing the story. I like my career, but still, it's just, it needs an update, an upgrade, and back to the original controls. I'm sorry.
Yes, and then another thing though, Jordan, you know, with that reversals though, instead of the right trigger, it's a freaking Y. I'm like, what the crap?
The Y button used to be for the finishers. Now you have to use the A and the X simultaneously as the finisher. It's like as if it was a GameCube game.
Yeah, I mean, my goodness sakes.
Stupid. That is the stupidest thing I could ever, you know, possibly imagine. It's enough for a man to go batshite insane.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Anyway, for your third and final topic, before we get to my third and final topic, which I'll have to make up on the fly since I didn't prepare for this because I had company over. Yeah. What's your third and final topic?
All right, the third and final topic, I know, and no, it's not WWE or anything wrestling related. This is going to be some serious news for this. The college admissions scandal, where Lori Loughlin, who played from Full House and Fuller House, lays indictment, likely a strategy to induce plea talks.
I would buy 2K19, 2K20, 2K18. Looks like crap. Well, that's because of the graphic design. But anyway, this should be good. I mean, we're all gonna probably love this report.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Oh my God!
His hands getting caught in a cookie jar. Give us what we got. Give us what you got, Brandon.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh man, give you a little bit of a background for that. Like, the grand jury in the federal court in Massachusetts has returned new charges against 11 of the 15 parents still facing charges in the college admission case, including actress Lori Loughlin. And then that the new charges, LOL. Anyway, the new charges in this third indictment allege that the 11th defendant. Thank you.
No problem. Love you.
I knew it. Hot dang it, Jordan.
I knew it was going to happen sometime. You didn't know when it was going to happen, but I got you.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. But anyway, continuing on with my topic.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, Joe. No worries.
Yeah, it's indictment. Read from that, the part indictment right there.
In this third indictment, alleged that the 11 defendants conspired to commit a crime called federal program bribery.
Oh my God!
No. Kevin, hot dang it!
We'll put you on a show later onward. Okay, we've got everything booked for other episodes. I'll help you get booked, just not this episode. Quit interrupting the topic. It's served only for me to interrupt. I'm sorry. Continue.
Anyway, for bribing employees from the University of Southern California to help with their children's admissions.
Ooh.
The employees of the university allegedly placed the children in favored admission categories such as athletic recruits, irrespective of their athletic abilities. Yep. LOL. Hot dang it, David.
Hey, he's either laughing at us or probably at Kevin, but either way, doesn't matter.
Anyway. Yep, as the charges added, so do the potential sentences. The maximum for conspiracy to commit federal program bribery is 5 years. Yeah.
So this is serious shiznit we're talking, right?
Yes. And you know what Lori Loughlin got?
Ooh.
Not 5 years. Only 9 days.
What the crap are these people in the courtroom like? Are they are they socially and mentally challenged not to know a good sentence of wait, this is 9 days instead of 5 years?
Yeah.
What in God's name?
Yep. Anyway. Yep. These defendants would not get anywhere close to the maximum under the current federal sentencing scheme, so any additional convictions can add time on to a sentence.
So basically, she got a slap on the wrist, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yes.
Somebody must have paid off someone in that courtroom. Not that I have proof, but someone must have did something to shorten that sentence to 9 days.
Yeah, I mean, my goodness sakes. Yeah. You know, I got some. Wait, what the heck? 9 freaking days? Yeah, I'm not joking, Jay.
I wish he was. That way I'd be laughing my arse off.
For sure. Yeah, I got something to say about this topic as well for those people giving out the omissions, like the kind of like the cheat off the SAT and the ACT and all that. Guys, I got something to say for this. I mean, you people, I mean, for those actors and actresses as well, he should got a year.
You mean?
Yeah.
Still, yeah. Actually, she should have gotten the sentence of what was necessary, mind you. So.
Yeah. And guys, I'm going to give my take on for this college scandal.
This is you.
For sure. And guys, all I'm asking for you to do is, if you're like a parent or anything like that, please, and I mean please, don't give out the like the original answers off from like last year's ACT and the SAT answers and all that. That would be considered cheating. And plus, if you do that crap, like what Lori Loughlin did, then you get your butt in some trouble.
You don't read the comment. Just keep speaking your mind.
All right, but still, guys, and if you're gonna do that crap, I would highly suggest you not do those things. Just for your own safety and for your own children, please do not do stupid stuff like give answers on the SAT and then for NACT answers as well from the last year's test. That's not okay. That is unacceptable. And plus, if your like daughter or son who is an athlete, like out of college or something, who got a scholarship, then they might take it away because of your crap.
Mm-hmm.
And no comment on David.
Yeah.
But anyway, still, guys, what I'm trying to get along with this, though, guys.
What you're saying is that people need to learn that they don't need to do this kind of crap just to help their kids get ahead in life, because eventually it will come back to bite them, and there will be serious consequences in the long run.
Yes, exactly. And that is my topic on that.
Okay. Now, I was going to make something up on the fly here regarding something, and I think I've got something that's pretty good. Okay, I know that a recent film came out on digital and Blu-ray DVD and also standard, DVD. A Disney movie by the name of the live-action movie of The Lion King. Now, if you guys don't know what that is, it is based off, I think it was a book, originally, but also based off a little bit, to become a live-action movie version of the cartoon or animated movie back in the, I think in the 90s, I believe. I think that's when it was made. If it wasn't, then I must got my dates all mixed up. But either way, based on the reviews and the criticism of this movie, nobody really enjoyed it that good as they did the animated film version. Because I mean, and you know what? Let me tell you, even I haven't watched it yet, but still, I think in my view, it probably wouldn't be. I mean, it would probably be good to the naked eye, to fool me, to baffle me, but still, I'd probably prefer, originals over, new new live action crap any day, because I think that's Disney's problem. The new live action movies, except for Beauty and the Beast, mind you, all of that, everything else is just pure, utter garbage. I think they need to stop with all that, just to save the time and the effort and money. If they can't, if that's another problem with the movie industry, if they're running out of ideas and they can't seem to come up with anything, and plus, it's like instead of feeling the love tonight, it's like what the Unusual Suspect would say: "Can you feel the cringe tonight?" You see what I mean? Oh yeah, thanks, Blair. And also, that's what either they make new ideas to make a good live action movie of something other than just an animated one from the old days, or at least try to do something. Because my God, it's not even funny when you think about it, because movie industries have gone right down the toilet. What's up, Jack? And yeah, so basically, you can buy this movie if you want. It is your choice, not mine. I mean, I might, but who knows? Just to give a film review myself. But then again, I'm not a big film reviewer, like real professionals, not like the Unusual Suspect. And by the way, if you ever want to check him out, it's the Unusual Suspect on YouTube. A real good film review kind of guy. And in fact, if you want to know how I found this guy, it was the everything wrong with the original Star Wars trilogy video. Which, now I know what you're thinking. There's nothing wrong with the original Star Wars trilogy. Well, the thing is, most of the stuff he says aren't 100% true. But still, at the end of the day, it's some. That movie was so good, I enjoyed it slightly better. The only thing I had a problem with is, can you feel the love tonight? I guess there's a lot of people that had a problem with that, not just you, Jay. But see, that's your take, and I'm not going to argue with you. You know why? Because I'm not going to try and cause a stir, or at least let anything happen. And I'm not saying that to say I'm better than most people that do the live stream. No offense. Just saying, like, I'm not going to let anything get to me or try to trigger me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, if we can take just a little bit of an intermission, just for like a minute or two, I will be right back. I just have to do something real quick, and then we can start with the interview. So stand by.
Yep. And for the chat, you guys can answer questions. You can ask questions if you want, because while Jordan stepped away. So, yeah, just give me questions, and we'll have the interview with a certain someone. And so if you ask that question, hang on. All right, let's look at here. We'll stand by for that. And Sophia Seals, in an earlier comment about 33 minutes ago, saying, "Is the wrestling guest on today's podcast?" The answer is yes, Sophie. It is going to be on the podcast. Well, was born 10 years after The Lion King came out in 1994. Okay, well, oh man, if I remember correctly, I know. Okay, our good friend, our guest is coming in for sure, but he'll be in at 1. So. All right. We'll add him in just a moment until Jordan comes back with a few of our intermission. Then, all right, guys, we have our special guest here, so we'll add him to the stream in just a minute. But you can ask questions to that certain guest we would like to introduce to you, and yeah. So that being said, until Jordan comes back, and we'll be back on air. my schedule for Thursdays from now on. I'll send you something on Instagram. In RDM, okay. I am not a big fan of live action movies. I don't know why they are doing it with kids shows. Okay, that's a good question. Oh. Let's see what he says.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment we have been waiting for. Played Wheel of Fortune last night on Xbox One. Went over I think that's $100,000. Huh, that's pretty cool. I was born 10 years later after The Lion King came out in 1994. So that means, so you're born in 2004, making you 14, I believe.
Or actually 15, because, yeah.
15. Yeah, 15. Oh, yeah, because it's 2019.
Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and add this man. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment that you all been waiting for. We like to introduce our special guest, who usually affiliated with the WWE back in FCW at that time. He was the assisted trainer as well, but he is currently wrestling all over the Pacific Northwest and even the Midwest as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to introduce to you himself, Drew. Back in.
Whoa, there's an echo. Hold on.
Yeah, greetings and salivations, but don't scream in your microphone. There was a huge echo.
I understand.
I understand. Holy crap. Hang on. First of all, it's good to meet you, though.
Nice to meet you too. Brandon, I've seen you at a bunch of the shows out here in the Pacific Northwest. Just to clarify, I was a student assistant instructor over at FCW. I had went through the school with Norman Smiley, and then the next class, essentially, I was used to come in as a bump dummy because Norman at the time couldn't take any back bumps and things like that. So they brought me in to help with training a little bit for a few of the classes, but just getting to work with Norman Smiley was such a huge honor. Him and Steve Kern down at FCW was amazing.
I'm not thinking. Wait a minute. I think I can hear the echo off your background. Do you have a headset you can use?
Actually, I don't actually. Hold on one sec.
Okay. We can hold.
All right.
Oh, he's got a bag of tricks here.
Nah, I've got a bag of DJ supplies, but I don't have my headphones here. So
those could work.
All right, let me see. My computer is mostly used for graphics. I never do audio stuff anymore, so I never hook anything up.
Yeah.
Let me find a spot to plug it in. Hold on a sec.
All right. Brent, just in case, put a headset yourself, in case it's coming off of you.
Yeah, because I'm not hearing any echo on my end, and usually my computer's pretty good with it. I've done a few other podcasts this way without headsets, but just to make sure.
I couldn't hear you, Brent. Stand by.
There we go.
So I'm actually going to have to run outside to grab an adapter in order to hook up the headphones. I don't have a iPhone adapter in here for headphones. So
Mine.
give me.
I guess we can work with it.
Well, how bad is the echo with mine?
Well, it's kind of, I can hear myself. Like, you know, it's like that's what's off.
All right,
I think it's like one of those technical errors from time to time. It happens all the time downstream.
All right, give me a second.
All right. Hope he's not going to the store. I mean, if he's going to the store, and then it's like 20 minutes to get back, I'm like, crap, how are we going to be late? Yeah. Norman Smiley. If I remember, he was the WCW hardcore champion. Oh, crap. Man, that it can't. So it can't be right, Brandon. Yeah, we apologize for that. You need to put in it. It's in it. I'll have you for another episode time, man. Man. Wait, I couldn't hear you.
Okay, Houston says, I don't mind the echo.
Brandon Martin. Well, it's not your favorite. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. Okay, I can't hear it anymore. I guess it was coming from the side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least we solved a little problem, and it all happened live.
Yeah. Botch mania.
It's okay. Well, hey, he's probably seen that a lot, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Just.
Well, I couldn't hear the echo anymore. It's like it's fixed for some reason. Like, you think we should tell him, and when he comes back?
Yeah, for sure. Till he comes back.
Yeah, God.
And we'll have to redo the introduction again.
I better not get a backbreaker because of this guy.
Or, break your eyes out. My gosh.
Oh man, can he do that? Like, has he done that as a gimmick thing? We don't have to. Well, we can do the intro again if you want to.
Yeah, we'll try that again because that was not good, but we'll do that again.
Yeah.
All right, we'll stand by, folks.
And you don't have to worry. Even if you edit it out, this doesn't matter because I think this is part of the show where we have to expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
Botches and mistakes are meant to happen because, like Raw or SmackDown or anything, sometimes there are things that cannot be undone. Hi, dang it, Kevin! Will you stop calling me? Man. Hey, wait, Mr. Drexel, listen to me. Hello. Hey, you don't need the headphones. It's he can't hear me. I don't think he can hear me, dude.
Oh man, live mistake sigh. Hi, dang it, David.
Hang on just a second. Dude, what the crap?
Oh, sorry.
Look, come on, just.
I want to be in it.
I know you want to be in it, but I will book you for another time, dude. Okay?
All right.
I promise. I swear to God. Now, I'm sorry. I'm just, I just gotta get this. We gotta get this episode done and over with, and we're having a lot of botches as it is. Don't worry, you'll be in another show. I promise. I'll try to book you for episode. Hey Brandon. Hey Brandon, how does episode 6 sound? I can't hear you, Brandon.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. All right. Well, how about episode 6? It will be like a couple
adapters to
weeks.
make this work. So hold on.
Okay, that's fun.
All right. Now sit back and enjoy the show, okay? Be a good boy. Bye. Stop. Okay. Sorry about that. Hey, Mr. Drexel, can you hear me? Hello?
Hang on.
I don't think he can hear me.
I think you needed to just take off your headphones.
My headphones?
Mm-hmm. And then unmute.
Okay. I think the echo stopped.
Yeah.
I don't. Can you hear us?
Yeah, unfortunately, I do not have the adapters to
Okay.
run a.
Wait, dude. We can hear you.
Oh, my apologies. Sorry.
That's okay.
Uh,
All right.
Just tell us if you can hear us.
not sure what to tell you.
All right. All right. Here we go.
This is bull crap, I'm telling you. I mean, like, just be a good boy. Well, obviously. What do you want me to tell Kevin Alvarez?
Ah.
Seeing if I have a pair of old headphones anywhere, and I can't seem to find any.
Wait. Can you hear us?
All right. One last spot, Chuck. If I can find where my keys went.
Wait.
Just
I know. I'm sure. I'm calm. It's just that I'm thinking, like, dude, I can hear him, and the echo's is gone.
yeah. All right.
All right, guys. I will hit you back in a few minutes. Speak. I will see if I can get this running.
Okay.
I apologize, but
Yeah, that's okay.
yeah, I can't even find my car keys now. So give me a few.
Yeah,
All right.
that's fine.
We can stand by.
All right. We'll stand by.
Yeah. Hot dang. I didn't expect this to happen today.
Yeah.
Guys, there's nothing we can do about that. I'm sorry. This is bull crap.
But we'll stand by for a few more minutes. But anyway, while he stepped away, though,
Well,
I mean, we can add. I know.
damn it, he says.
Hot dang it, David.
It's okay. I mean, he
I
said
know.
Jagman.
I know, but David's calling for Instagram.
David's calling. Oh, come on, David.
Not
Dick
now.
move. Dick move.
Come on, David. Not now.
We're gonna have you for next week's show. If you keep pulling this crap, we're not gonna let you in. We'll put you in the timeout chair.
Prank. Hot dang it, David.
When doesn't he do a prank? He kept kicking me off of a call, like once or twice, and kept adding me back on.
Yeah. Let's look at that. 5 likes already. Hot dang.
Yeah,
We're actually doing great.
we're doing good for
With a few
for,
botches, but overall,
after a 2-week hiatus and getting back.
and some botches. Overall, it's pretty good.
I will do that again, Julie. Whatever, but we're going to be mute, but our ringers will be off.
Yes.
We don't have to answer the calls,
Exactly. There you go.
And now, the reason I had to answer mine, I was thinking like Owen Hart. Well, enough is enough, and it's time for a change.
Yes.
Well, while we're waiting, we might as well discuss remove you and put you back. Well, okay. Well, let's just talk while we're waiting for this guy.
Yeah.
Now, about Owen Hart's career, it was like one of the best of all time, in my view, because even though he never won the world title, and there were several occasions, mind you, they could have put the world title on him, which was originally booked but then changed at the last minute, he was never greedy or expectant of, of being pushed to the main event spot. What he loved to do, he loved doing it for his family and, his loved ones, because to try and provide, for them. He saved a lot of money that he could to buy a new house and all that stuff, including to help, provide, his kids, with a better life and all that. But also at the end, even though the incident that occurred, which was also an accident, mind you, of his tragic death, if you all recall, was it like 500 feet in the air, I believe?
Yeah.
500 feet in the air. While on a cable, which was supposedly supposed to make him do his little entrance thing as the Blue Blazer, mind you. But unfortunately, something went wrong. Now, this was tested once or twice before the show, and mistakes tend to happen, and something happened, and he fell to his death in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
I think he bounced off. I think his head bounced off the top rope, or at least something. And yeah, and ever since that day, Martha Hart, his widow, has been doing a lot to try and sue the WWE for many, many years to get them off, get the money off of them and all that. I'm thinking, like, what would have happened if Owen Hart had not died? That's my question.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but then again, the only person who's responsible for anything in the business in regards to that company and any decision ever made that goes final through him, it's Vince. So if Vince had not, punished Owen because he refused to do a love storyline with Deborah McMichael, former wife of Steve Mongo McMichael, and also former wife of Stone Cold Steve Austin, had they not, punished Owen for not doing that love angle with her, then that Blue Blazer gimmick would have never happened. And neither would that incident.
Mm-hmm.
I would have thought of something else differently, but that's just me.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Let me go look.
Okay. Mostly in the live chats, mostly David.
Yeah.
How many viewers do we have currently?
We got, when I look at that, it's 3 right now.
Okay.
Oh,
and
he's back.
Rest in peace, Owen Hart. Yep.
All
Then there was Brian Pillman, the senior, of course. If you want to be technical, because there's a junior now.
Okay. Here we go. Let's go ahead and add him.
This is what happened if you need.
No comment.
Oh my God. No, Kevin, don't worry about it. It's just these things tend to happen. Don't worry, he'll be back. I mean,
all right, let's try this again.
At least we're not paying. Keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm. Oh, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we have our special guest here on the podcast.
I just want you to know you guys sound the exact same. Can you hear me right now? Because
Yep.
it still sounds echoey, and I just had to go literally dig through my storage unit to find a pair of old headphones with a normal plug in it to plug into this stupid thing. But
okay.
You guys got to see behind the curtains of someone that gets hit in the head every single week with steel chairs, and what it's like being in my my little brain sometimes. So,
well, that tends to happen to wrestlers. I mean, with concussions and all that. So,
yeah.
Hang on. Let me see if I can put my headphones on if I don't have an echo generating.
Yep, same here.
guys in the live chat, I'm sorry about all this. This is bull crap, even though it's just y'all miss Christmas. Yeah, I do. It's just that, just occasionally most people just feel like they just don't want to talk about him after what he did. But he was one of the best. I will give credit where credit is due, but not the person.
Yep. All right, there we go. That's better.
All right.
All right, we'll try this again.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to introduce our special guest, who is a wrestler from the Pacific Northwest. He is the devil himself, Draxel.
What's going on, guys? All right. I think we can do the interview now. It
All
only took 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. No worries.
Oh, don't worry. I had to delay the inevitable by telling the Owen Hart story, the tragedy, and also to try to, catch everyone to speed of what would have happened and why that came to be, because it's always the final decision through Vince McMahon. Oh, by the way, you said something about you working in Florida Championship Wrestling when it was the developmental system before NXT came around.
Yes, yeah, I was down at FCW. I went to their school, and then the following class, I helped out as like a assistant student instructor, basically a bump dummy for Norman Smiley for teaching people. But yeah, my class at FCW, there's only two of us that are still wrestling. It's me and Aiden English, actually. So.
You mean Aiden English, the one from the one of those guys from the God? What was the name of that tag team called? He was with Simon Gotch.
Vaudevillains.
Vaudevillains. Oh,
yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, Aiden actually such an amazing worker. And the very first day of the FCW school, as soon as I met him, I knew that he was going to get signed. He's about 6'6". He was shredded at that point. He grew up doing gymnastics. His bachelor's or master's is in theater from Chicago University. He had done stage combat, everything. If someone wanted to grow up and be a pro wrestler, he did everything that you need to do coming up nowadays to be really, really good in this industry and be able to take off at 18, 19 years old. You have to go through all those steps now. So
Like a prodigy, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just so back in the day with pro wrestling, a lot of it they've got people from amateur wrestling backgrounds. Back in the 80s, it was all about bodies and stuff, but now the industry's just it's changed so much that you can't just be a body guy, you can't just be a talker, you have to have everything. So when I've done like speeches to classes and stuff with little kids or younger people, and they're like, how do you become a wrestler? And I'll tell them in young age, get into gymnastics, get into martial arts, get into wrestling, get into acting. Take advantages of all those different aspects, because I'd say in another 15 years, you are going to have to be that total package to actually make a break, get a break in this business. Because with guys like Ricochet, Gargano, I mean, just the names of just these super athletes that are also compelling when they talk. It's just amazing right now. It's a great time for pro wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, especially with other things coming around, like with All Elite Wrestling and even other promotions coming up. Even the National Wrestling Alliance coming back too.
Yeah.
But here's one question that I have for you. During the FCW days, did you ever have a chance to work with Dusty Rhodes?
Actually, once it was a couple different shows, but I was used as extras on there, and it was a time when I can't even remember. I don't think any of them are still with the company, but they were doing like a kind of an entourage type faction where when they come in, they pull in a limousine, and a bunch of us were used as paparazzi. And my one Dusty story is Dusty coming up to us, and we're all just being used as extras. No one else really talking to us. And Dusty's like, nah, have you ever seen the TMZ, and you see these guys and they got the cameras and they got the flashes going off and they're pushing each other and they're trying to get that perfect shot. That's you guys. Now you can't take away from the stars but you gotta get that shot, and I want it realistic. I want it just like the TMZ. And we're all like, yes, sir. Whatever you say, sir. And so they ran that angle for maybe 3-4 weeks total on FCW TV down there in Florida. But yeah, we got to be used as paparazzi, and that's my one working with Dusty story. It was pretty amazing, though.
If you will.
If you will.
All right, Brandon, do you have a question?
I do,
I think I already asked like 2 or 3.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Well, for, as myself, watch for Prestige Wrestling myself as a fan, And last Friday, you faced Carlito. I mean, how's it feel you faced Carlito, Drexel?
It's crazy. I mean, if you would have told me, so I'm getting up in age. I'm 44 years old. So I'm pretty old for this industry, and I'm pretty beat up. I got 2 herniated discs in my neck. I've got a ACL in my right knee that needs to be replaced. I'm pretty beat up. But if you would have asked me 5 years ago, I was down in Florida, and at that point, just right before I turned 40, I had decided I'm going to move back to Pacific Northwest. I'm never going to sign to a big national company, and that's why I went down to Florida, is to get seen by WWE. And I actually wanted to get hired in as a manager, because at that time the chances of anyone as small as me getting signed were slim and none. So I was looking for a job as a manager because I'm good on a microphone. And they weren't looking for that. And so I was going to move back to the Pacific Northwest. And in this last 5 years, I went from coming back here thinking, I'm just going to have fun, finish out my career with my friends and working for companies that, I want to help support. And then ended up in Paraguay for Luchando, ended up traveling around a lot more. And then companies like Defy and Prestige have made it so I've wrestled X-Pac, I've wrestled Joey Ryan, Tommy Dreamer, now Carlito. I mean, it's pretty damn cool getting to work in the ring with these guys. Just like when I first started in Portland wrestling, first person I ever managed was Jimmy Superfly Snuka, and I'm working shows with Roddy Piper on, and I was just in amazement as a fan growing up from about age of 6 or 7 on. It was lifelong dream, and once I got my foot in the door, I wasn't going to take it out. I was going to do everything I could to stay in this business. So.
All right. And
That is great, though, man.
All right, and we got
Thank
a
you.
question from 3000 saying, this question goes to you, Drexel.
Okay.
What is some of your favorite moments of your wrestling career?
Let me see.
That's a very good question right there.
There's one down in Paraguay. I actually had the first ever hardcore match in Paraguay's pro wrestling history. They had pro wrestling for years, and then it hadn't been on TV or anything for close to about 20 years. And when Luchando started there, we were the first one, and they had never had anything like a hardcore street fight deathmatch type thing. So I did the very first one ever down there and got a standing ovation from not only the crowd, but also the entire locker room, and convinced the EMTs that I legit was dead, and they were carrying me off with a neck brace on a full stretcher. And once we got back to the locker room and I started climbing off the stretcher, they were freaking out, screaming at me in Spanish, which I didn't understand, as I'm like, no, it's okay. And I'm pulling off the neck brace. I'm like, I'm fine. EMTs hated me down there because I would always do this stupid stuff. But that was pretty amazing. Couple of the Defy shows, getting to work X-Pac, that was just phenomenal. And I was teaming with Dr. Cleaver at the time, and Cleaver's a big boy, and Cleaver's known for being pretty tough. And watching X-Pac just kick Cleaver's head off and knock him square on his ass was really one of those humorous things that's happened.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I would say it's not the first time I got beat up in the ring, but the first time as a manager in Portland wrestling. I was a radio DJ originally and came into Portland wrestling as an announcer, and then transferred over to becoming a manager. And that transfer to being a manager, I feuded with Dr. Luther, who ended up being one of my mentors. And so there was supposed to be this big match, and I was supposed to get tossed through a table. Well, as me and Luther enter out there into the to ringside, the table that I'm supposed to go through has already been just completely destroyed out there. And the only table that's left is maybe 3.5, 4 feet long, which at my body weight, Luther would have had to kill me to try to put me through. I would have probably bounced off of it 4 times. And so Luther, knowing he doesn't want to kill me, just goes, "Hey kid, can't do the table. Just follow my lead." And then proceeded to powerbomb me 3 times, which I had never taken a powerbomb in my life. And then wrapped a chair around my head and had never taken a chair shot. And just...
You didn't cover?
No, I did not cover. And in my head, as he had yanked me out of the ring, and I'm just kind of standing there staring at him, wobbling, I thought in my head, Well, I remember someone say either you put your hands up or you put your head down to get the top of your head. And I was like, it'll probably never happen again. So I just put my head down, and Luther, being a very longtime vet of FMW and hardcore wrestling, nailed it perfect. Chair ended up around my neck, and I hit the ground. But at that point was one of the very first times that I just learned to just go with it, kid, and see what happens. Which it's kind of happened a lot in my wrestling career, so it prepared me for the next 15 years.
We got there's a question here. If you could name 10 wrestling finishers, what would they be?
Oh my God! I don't just randomly.
Yeah.
Let me see it. Ones that I do: the flatliner into a Koji clutch. I do a fisherman driver. I do a Michinoku driver. Stump puller pile driver. Double underhook DDT. Someone was just talking about crippler crossface. Me and Cleaver do the demolition device, but instead of dropping the elbow, I drop a knee drop as he gives the backbreaker. Release German suplex if done correctly. I mean, that at least in UFC, a German suplex can be a finish, so I don't see why it couldn't be in the in pro wrestling again.
Or a Boston Crab in UFC.
Yeah, Boston Crab's been used too. So, but I've seen people knocked out with more German suplexes than tapped out to Boston Crabs. So,
Yeah.
was that 10?
No, that was 8.
Oh, that was 8. Okay. Then a moonsault and a swanton. There you go. There's 10.
All right. Here's another question. The same user, David3000, said this. Who was your favorite wrestler growing up?
Rowdy Roddy Piper, hands down. And
Oh,
I didn't grow up in the Pacific Northwest. I grew up in Detroit, but I started watching probably about 83, 84. And I had first seen it was stuff coming from Canada because I lived in Detroit, and then WWF started playing on Saturday and Sunday mornings. And so as all my friends immediately jumped on the Hulk Hogan bandwagon, I was the Piper kid. My very first shirt was a Roddy Piper, and my second shirt was British Bulldogs, because I just thought they were just amazing in what they did in the ring. And then Piper was just amazing all around, just his character and everything.
The golden years.
And then I would say third for growing up would have been Junkyard Dog. And now if I watch a Junkyard Dog match, I sit there and laugh at how bad it is. But if you watch a promo, I see why I loved him as a kid, because he literally talked people into the building. So.
And keep in mind, those were the glory golden days.
Oh yeah, as
a
kid, it was the greatest thing ever. It was pro wrestling and comic books. My life was all I wanted to be a superhero. So now I look at it, and I've actually wrestled for a company. It's now called Fantasy Super Cosplay Wrestling. It used to be Florida Super Championship Wrestling. It was they run at the comic convention. So I've wrestled as Green Arrow, which at that point I was like, life doesn't get much better than this. I've now wrestled and been a superhero, and done it in front of like 3,000-4,000 people at a time. So pretty awesome.
Yeah. Especially when it goes to drawing them in the building, like say the auditoriums and all that stuff. I mean, like when I go to the Spartanburg Memorial Auditorium, I think there's like maybe either 1,000 people there, at least I think. But I'm not trying to blow smoke up my own butt, but just saying.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here's a question from me, and I bet you'll probably know this is probably going to be one you'll never expect, but then again, you would have. What's your take on All Elite Wrestling and its Wednesday Night War with NXT?
I think it is the best thing that's happened to the business in over 20 years, as far as for being a business and giving competition and giving guys a place to work. And from my friends that are currently working for All Elite Wrestling, they are treating their treating their staff like royalty. There's a lot of people there that are picking up 2 jobs, where if they're a performer in front of the camera, they're also picking up a job behind the scenes, depending on what they've done in their career, things like that. And they are the first wrestling company that is literally hiring people in, paying for their insurance, and they're full-time employees, and not just a contractor job where they can basically do whatever they want to you and you just have to grin and bear it. They are actually hiring employees. So I'm all for All Elite Wrestling. I think it's amazing what they're doing, and I hope that the ratings continue to grow for them, and they continue to build, because all that's going to do is help the wrestling business.
Speaking of which, they've been winning the ratings war for the past 3 weeks, and I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts, and I hope this doesn't come back and bite me, but they might have won a fourth one in a row, and if my hunch is correct, if they do it again for next week, then the whole month of October is for AEW.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one for NXT to come back, because NXT is a great show, and most of the super fans out there, they love NXT compared to SmackDown or Raw and stuff, but you've been conditioned with NXT. Everyone loves it, but no one was conditioned to watch it at 8 o'clock on Wednesdays. NXT was a show on the network. The network is a thing where you just click on, you watch stuff when you want to. AEW, being on an actual cable station right off from the get-go, is training the audience. Okay, 8 o'clock on Wednesdays, you're going to go there. NXT tried it, but it was a little too little too late by just jumping in a couple weeks beforehand and having that jump over from, we're going to start here, but then you got to watch the rest of it on the network, and things like that didn't do them any favors. So unfortunately, I feel like the average fan looks as AEW is the one that I'm going to watch at 8 o'clock, and then NXT, like I've been doing for the last 3 years, I'll watch when I want to, which might be 10 o'clock tonight. It might be tomorrow morning before I go to work. So that's what I like. Ratings are really weird right now. Ratings don't mean everything. It's not total people viewing, but it is a nice little gauge for here's who's watching it live in the moment. So.
Well, in a contrast, as much as I agree with that, but there's also another thing, like without ratings, in a way, like it has to be all about the ratings from time to time. Otherwise, if you don't have people watching, then there's no point in watching a good show.
Yeah, but when I'm saying ratings, I'm not saying, I'm saying total people viewing it is different than ratings.
Yeah.
The ratings that you're getting from cable is such a just an old-fashioned system that doesn't really work. As someone that used to work in media, I know spot on that. So basically, they take 100 people, and those 100 people are representing 1 million people. So it's really, the ratings are really iffy as far as what it really means. What it's going to come down to is downloads, and right now WWE doesn't have to worry about the sponsorships; they've already got it. AEW is going to have to keep this build, and they will have to keep those live ratings and stuff like that in order to build the brand to get those bigger sponsorships, which is going to bring in the money. Because that's what it all comes down to. It still is a business, and it's about sponsorships and what money you're bringing in.
Okay, I was going to ask you a different question, like regarding like the spiritual, debut of All Elite Wrestling, like All In, the pay-per-view from last year. But here's a question from Jay Houston. Hey Drexel, when did wrestling get fake? Oh boy.
Oh man.
Jay, be prepared. I'm not gonna stop him when he starts. So go ahead and answer that question, Drexel.
All right. Every time someone tells me that wrestling is fake, I tell them that gravity is real. What we do is entertainment. What we do is predetermined on who's going to win, but what we do to our bodies is 100% real. I wrestled War Beast about a month ago and had a headache for 3 days afterwards. Why? Because I was concussed from Joseph Samuel hit so damn hard in that ring, and that was one of those matches. So just this past week, I watched Joseph wrestle a guy and just eat him alive. If you don't fight back against War Beast, and it legit, we are hitting each other and hitting each other really, really hard. The only difference is I'm trying to hit him right underneath the jawline or hit him right around the cheek line. I'm trying not to knock him out. I'm trying not to hit him in the temple, not to actually hit the jawline. So you talk to MMA guys, it's a lot harder to hit someone and not hit one of those spots and be able to work a punch that way. So, I mean, fake is kind of a stupid word. What we do is entertainment, but the toll that what we do to our bodies is all real. So.
Now, keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. And for those of you out there that ever say that wrestling's fake, you better think twice and try it out yourself. Anyway, now my question is, I think I'll go to Brandon after mine. This one, what was it like watching All In? That pay per view that was actually, to me, is like the spiritual start of All Elite Wrestling, because that was like a preview of what we would see later, 1 year later.
All In showed the world what social media buzz could really do, because that entire show is built off of their social media buzz. It had nothing to do with Ring of Honor, it had nothing to do with New Japan. It had to do with being the elite and how many followers they had gotten and built up with their YouTube show. And it's absolutely amazing. It made a lot of companies sit back and go, huh, maybe we need to change up the way that we do use social media. Because prime example, everyone just raved about how much they loved Lucha Underground. But Lucha Underground, if they would have taken that outside the box writing style and added it to the social media platform of trying to incorporate a little bit of reality in with their crazy storylines, I think they would have reached a broader audience. That, and it would have had to be a different cable provider that more people got on their cable stations. But All Elite, from day one, what Cody and the Bucks did is all based off of social media buzz, and that's what the Young Bucks have bet on themselves for the last, since they left TNA. Really, they've bet on themselves, and it's all been about them doing it themselves. So they've mastered them, Joey Ryan. It's amazing what social media buzz can do now. That wasn't a thing even 10 years ago. So.
No, it was not. In fact, it was never really much of a big deal. And when it all started around from All In, and then after around January 1st of this year, that's when they made the official announcement of All Out. And then coming May, I believe, Double or Nothing.
Yep.
Then henceforth, All Elite Wrestling, the beginning of the All Elite era. Oh! All right, Brandon, you have a question for him?
I do. You know, Drexel, I mean, you faced a lot of people, though. Like, for example, you faced Sue Young. You teamed up with Christian Von Eerie when you faced Sonico and Sue Young at the Spokane event. How does it feel, though, between Spokane, itself, like for that match, tag team match, the No Lives Matter match, and Spokane Street Fight from May? Just give me like a little bit of your thoughts on that.
My thoughts on that is that both Christina and Sue Young are like two kid sisters to me, and they are both just as stupid and just as crazy as I am. And a lot of people think going into a match like that it would be me coming up with some of that craziness, but it's just as much Von Eerie and Sue. If you ever get a chance, look up Von Eerie versus Masada in a death match from CZW. Christine and I, our very first feud with each other was against each other about 13, 14 years ago. And so me and Christina have came up in the business together. She's actually lived with me, and she's on my phone plan, my family phone plan. So that's how close we are. And then Sue and I have known each other for probably 8, 9 years now. And everything that we've got to do out here and the matches we've got to put on have been pretty amazing, really hard hitting, and they definitely want to be treated just like the men, and I hit them the exact same way that I hit Sonico. So only difference is I think I like them better than I like Sonico, but
Hey, before you ask another question, Brand, Jay Houston also asked, "Hey Drexel, what's your opinion on Humberto Carrillo's performance against Seth Rollins on Monday Night Raw this past Monday?"
I think it was great. It was a huge opportunity for him, for a whole lot more people to see him for the very first time. Now the key is what they do with him. If they continue to use him each and every week, then awesome. But if it's one of those where it's a one-off and then they forget about him 2 to 3 weeks, then the fans are going to forget about him in 2 to 3 weeks. So, I mean, basically with that many writers and stuff, it's I'm never going to say that it's easy to run a giant, like to literally write. How many hours of TV is the WWE writing right now? It's 3 hours for Raw, 2 hours for SmackDown, 2 hours for NXT, plus you throw in the couple matches for main event. That's 8 hours of TV you're having to write every single week. And of course, writers all want to get their stuff featured.
Wait, 205 Live too.
And 205 Live, as long as that lasts. I don't know how much longer now that they've moved it over with NXT. My guess it'll just get combined together. But which I think could be the best thing for 205. Because right now having to follow SmackDown is probably the worst thing for those poor guys. Because those guys are absolutely amazing. But to no matter what, in the fans' eyes, they are not the Randy Ortons, they are not the John Cena's, the Roman Reigns. And so no matter if they go out there and kill it and give a 5-star match every single night, they're doing it after 2 hours of seeing the biggest stars in the company, and fans are dead at that point. So I would love to see 205 get moved over with NXT, and
Like
I
as a
would like,
second hour or first hour?
what was
As
that?
as a second hour or first hour?
Not even like I would just say do the tapings and everything with
Oh,
NXT, like do them all together and kind of
oh, I had that idea too.
and put that out as a brand, and then start because right now they're using Full Sail, but at some point they're going to have to try to expand NXT to get into those the smaller arenas the same way that All Elite is doing. And I think if you were to combine 205 along with NXT, they have a better chance of filling up those small arenas, just like AEW does, which automatically makes it look like a bigger product. Like I watched the NWA. I grew up seeing studio wrestling, but unfortunately, it looks very small time. No matter what stars they put on there, being that tiny studio compared to something like All Elite or compared to a WWE, I know they're trying to go the opposite because they don't have that budget, but it just makes it look small time now. So.
But differences can be good, and plus with the NWA coming back with power, that's another thing. Jay, I'll ask that question for you in a minute. Right now, Brandon, do you have another question for him?
Oh man, back to Prestige Wrestling and back you made your debut in Prestige Wrestling back in June 23rd of 2017. You encountered with Sonico, with the rivalry along the hand. What was it like for you facing Sonico many a times though before you had to end your rivalry right there?
So here's a little behind the scenes stuff. Sonico was a wrestling fan growing up that used to come out to all the shows in Tulalip for Tulalip Championship Wrestling out in Marysville, Washington. All the wrestlers hated him. He was a little prick who dressed up as Alberto Del Rio, and he was the little 11-year-old kid that would swear at you, would just cut you down, and as an adult you can't turn around and you just want to smack this kid, this mouthy little kid. But Papa Sonico let him do whatever he wanted. So I remember him talking crap on the internet, and you're just like, you can't argue. He's a little kid, but God, this kid's annoying. So let's fast forward to Project 42 show.
Wait a minute. Did you almost said Alberto Dorito? That's
no, I said Del Rio, but I got my personal opinions on him. Whatever.
It's okay.
Del Rio.
I have my personal opinions on him. But guys, in the live chat, it's hashtag Alberto Dorito.
Del Rito, yes. So Project 42, Ethan HG's company that runs in Seattle a few times a year. It's more on the weird wrestling side and having fun. And Ethan's like, hey, there's this luchador from Lucha Volcanica I want you to team up with. I'm like, all right, cool, no big deal. So I team up with him, and after we get done with the match, I was like, good job, kid. I knew he was young. And then I proceed to get told that this is the same little brat that I hated so much 7 years before. And we ended up, Prestige really wanted us to work together, and we just kind of worked the real life storyline into that. But I think I was Sonico's first truly hardcore match, and now you see him doing all sorts of crazy stuff. But at that point, when we first started at Prestige, he was still pretty nervous about the going and getting completely crazy out there with me and doing things like barbed wire and light tubes and staple guns and stuff. So
yeah, deadly. So basically, they didn't tell you that it was the same guy for some reason?
No, they didn't tell me until after the match, and it was kind of a rib on me. I did the same thing to Cleaver. I didn't let Cleaver know who it was until after we had faced him, and then Cleaver's response was, "God damn it," and got really pissed off and said the guy's shoot last name, because we all just used to refer to him as his last name. But now to see this same kid over in Noah and stuff, and to think that I had a little bit to do with helping him expand his horizons and getting him out there, I'm happy. And overall he's working really hard, so I can't ask anything else of him. So.
Okay. Okay. Jay asked, "Hey Drexel, did you think the Hell in a Cell ending was crap?" He's talking about this one, and you got your own opinions. We have our own. Let him hear it.
My thoughts on it. I understand where they're going with wanting to do a non-real ending to it. My problem is how it was executed with the immediate slam of the sledgehammer. Then the ref immediately calls it. It felt very much like the DQ ending, which a lot of fans thought it was. But if they would have done the deal where crack, oh my God, he jumps into the pile of stuff, the ref pulls it off, checks Wyatt, Wyatt's out, then he rings it as, all right, Wyatt's out, he's injured, the match is being stopped for that, and everyone comes in with the ambulance and all that deal. Then Wyatt comes back and attacks. I think it would have came off better, and it wouldn't have gotten so much heat. It would have came across as, oh my God, he really did just crush this guy's skull, and he might be unconscious, and then do the big Undertaker type comeback on it after that. But to do it so quick came across as a DQ, and in a match that's supposed to be no DQ, the fans shit all over it. So
Well, yeah, it's obvious because Hell in a Cell has always been about no DQ, and you know the reason why I wasn't the one that got pissed as well. I mean, Brandon was pissed, Dante was pissed, anybody in the whole world would have been pissed at this outcome. And by the way, Kevin Alvarez, will you please get good grammar? Anyway, I'm sorry. He is asking, I got one question. What do you think about The Fiend? And there's another one. What do you think about Scary Wrestler getting a championship match in the future? Not on the future. It's in the future. Hot dang you. Anyway. But yeah, first question first, and then the second. What do you think about The Fiend?
I've been a fan of Bray Wyatt's for years. He thinks outside the box. I'm all for it. I like the new invention. I love the Firefly Funhouse gimmick and doing the Mr. Rogers, Mr. Dress Up type thing as for your interviews, and then having this monster go out there. I think that while he could be a very dominant champion and stuff, Vince is going to look at this character the same way that he looked at The Undertaker, that he does not need a championship. You have so many storylines built in just with this character that he doesn't need to carry the belts. If you look at Undertaker coming up, besides his initial run of beating Hogan and then dropping the title right back just for a big pop on attendance, for the most part, Undertaker, it wasn't until it was desperately needed for him to carry the belt. He never carried that belt. They always tried to keep Taker separate because he didn't need that championship. I think Bray Wyatt is the exact same way. He doesn't need a championship, that he can be in top programs just working the Fiend character without a belt being involved.
Yeah, it's so funny because, and then there have been times where he actually has earned, won the belts, and just not just because they needed to, but because they need to put it in the story,
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it has to stitch, they need the stitches, okay? Like when you have something to sew and you put, the thread needle, you got to sew it all up and thread it into your storyline, and that's how you keep going on with your character. I think that's the whole main deal with WWE nowadays. They just keep sticking with that, but that's why it's becoming so stale as of late. But not with Undertaker.
Yeah.
I mean, just with other characters now. Now, the next question, what do you think about Scary Wrestler getting a championship match in the future? I think the one he's referring to is the Fiend versus Seth Rollins in Saudi Arabia for WWE Crown Jewel, which I believe, by God, if you want my take real quick, let me tell you something. Just because, look, there are times when we're going to have these matches. I get that. But if you don't stick with a certain plan originally and just keep to that, then fans won't be, into this much. However, now that you got the Fiend on SmackDown and Seth Rollins still on Raw, it's obvious what the outcome's going to be. So what would have been the point? So, but even though it's a promotional consideration, still, it just confused me. I've already ranted about this on Wrestle Converse Mania a lot, but that's just my take. But what is your take?
I think that it's going to be a way to put over the Fiend strong without winning the title, of the Fiend laying out Seth Rollins and then just disappearing where the title had nothing to do with it. And what it comes down to with the Saudi Arabia shows is they get paid more money in that show than they do for a couple WrestleManias. So what do you expect them to do? They are going to give them whatever they want, because like I said, it's about business and the amount of money, like bringing back Shawn Michaels. Michaels had said he'd never wrestle again. But when you're talking $500,000 for one match, how do you say no to that? I mean, as a normal person that works a normal job to pay my bills and stuff like that, $500,000 changes your life. For him, that he has to do nothing. He could just sit at home and hunt. Instead, he's out there giving back to the company and working as a trainer. But yeah, that's why these guys are doing those Saudi Arabia shows. The payday alone is just amazing, and it's across the board. Everyone is getting a nice spike in their pay from the Saudi Arabia shows. So,
Well, you know what they say, greed never fails to motivate. And yeah, Jay Houston, he's got a point. Seth Rollins stomped him like 10 different times. Not to mention a pedigree, mind you. Keep that in
yep.
mind. Okay, there's another question I bet Brandon has. Go ahead.
All right, you work with DOA, Defy, and also Prestige, and you faced Super Crazy and Prestige as well in a tag team match.
Crazy.
Exactly. At Prestige 6 since last year in June. I mean, what is your take on that match in general with when you teamed up with Shaft, who's the current Defy champion right now? What's your take on that match?
Super Crazy is legit crazy and
Loco in Spanish.
And sometimes I wonder if he is kind of when he acts like he can't understand the English that you're speaking, that it might be just one of those deals where he just doesn't care and he's walking away. But being in the ring with him was I will say, very spontaneous, and I did not know which was going to come next because I wrestled him not only with in the tag match, but then I ended up wrestling him in a singles match for DOA, a hardcore singles match that also, which just did a lot of things that I did not expect and just came out of nowhere and really kept me on my toes out there. So he is legit super crazy. He is loco.
Yeah. I used to watch this guy on WWE SmackDown along with the Mexicools, along with Psicosis and Juventud Guerrera. And it's funny that those two luchadors were actually one of them was from ECW and then transitioned to WCW. But as for Juventud Guerrera, I think he was originally from WCW. Now as for
he came over to ECW much like Psicosis and Rey Mysterio. They all came to ECW first and then signed contracts with WCW. Yeah, there's some amazing Rave versus Hoovy matches from ECCW or ECW. Yes.
Yeah, so. I didn't know about that. Maybe that must have been not.
That was 95, 96. Psicosis got injured, and they ended up replacing him on some shots with Juventud, and so he came in. So it was all a deal that was ran between Paul Lee and Conan, who was bringing down the talent or bringing up the talent from Mexico.
Or K-Dog. And you want to know something? I heard the story that was really, funny because I was watching a video called from Reliving Wrestling, A Man and His Mop. And I bet you probably heard the story, the one with Perry Saturn and Moppy.
Yep. Yeah, it was great.
It was great. And you know what? The funny thing is, it is kind of true that, the reason why K-Dog couldn't get signed by WWE is because nobody ever heard that name. And plus, all he would do is just send in a tape or just give out use his name.
You want to know the true reason why Conan didn't sign with the WWE? Conan actually signed with the WWE years earlier in the early 90s. And
wait. I remember this. Max Moon?
Yes. So Max Moon, the original version of Max Moon, came with this giant backpack with these arm things that shot fireworks, shoots fireworks out of it, like a giant robot thing, which was amazing. And Conan thought, that's great, instantly going to be over. What Conan was not told was that you have to carry this through the airport with you. And that is the reason that he only lasted a couple shows. It was like, nope, I'm going back to Mexico. He went back. They put it under Paul Diamond, took the spot. And I think at that point, they realized that trying to carry around this giant fireworks machine that strapped to your back probably wasn't the best. And they switched it, the they switched the gear up slightly, but and he lost all that entrance. But yeah, because Vince put in all this money for this character and it was going to be a huge thing, and Conan walked away a couple like within a couple shows. That's why he had major heat with Vince. So
Oh my god! And that's why he never returned to the WWF.
That and Conan's notorious for speaking his opinions and literally like much like Raven and stuff like that. I'm sure that he's one of the guys that has a lot of guys have been involved with the different lawsuits in on the WWE, and those are the ones that you'll never see come back and stuff. Yeah, the concussion lawsuits and different stuff. So
yeah, those concussions lawsuits can be a real B.
Well, I mean, what it comes down to is everyone signed contracts as contractors. They are not responsible for it. Yeah, they know a lot more now than what they knew back then. But WWE at the same time has taken those precautions and make sure that anyone that's even got a slight concussion isn't wrestling for weeks on TV anymore. So it's not like it used to be where everyone would just kayfabe it and just no, I'm fine and just work through it. WWE has taken those steps, and most wrestling has now, where they're not forcing people to be out there every single day, whether they're injured or not, like it was in the 70s and 80s. So you got the good and the bad out of the lawsuits. I don't think anyone's ever going to make money off the lawsuits, but because of those lawsuits, all the rules have changed now, and it's a much better system. So
yeah, much safer, environment.
Yes, much safer.
I got this question. I know you might have one yourself, Brandon, regarding the Prestige Wrestling. I think I got this one for you. Regarding the AEW and then WWE product and all that, do you think they should only be on weekly stuff instead of the whole live event stuff? Because that way you can help, protect your wrestlers more often and help them prepare more?
Yes and no. I believe that the house show system is it's the old way of making money that they don't use as much. But at the same time, with a company like the WWE, you're going to pay maybe half to a quarter of the price for a house show. So you have a chance for full families to be able to come out and see the live product where they might not be able to afford a Raw, SmackDown, or a pay-per-view. And also, the house shows hit the smaller markets that are never going to get that TV show. So I would rather see those smaller markets get at least a house show that's going to have maybe 2,000 to 3,000 fans at it. So at least they're getting their wrestling, even if it's just once a year. So I like the house shows for that reason. That, and as a wrestler, if you're signed with the WWE, and as a fan, some of the funnest matches are going to be at the house shows because they are not micromanaged as much. It's not something that they are so stressed about. All right, you have exactly 5 minutes for your match. This is what's got to happen. You got to hit these spots. The guys gonna have to go out there and do their craft and tell stories and have fun with it. And so you'll see a lot more fun stuff at house shows than you will on any of the TV tapings.
All right. You got another question for him, Brendan?
I do. We got Prestige Wrestling coming up, and Spokane coming back is the second annual Rise or Die Trying tournament, in which I know for a fact you're also going to be there as well, Drexel, including the Prestige Wrestling champion, Philly Tom Lawler, the King of Dong Style, Joey Ryan, Daga, the outlandish Zicky Dice, Bull James, for you, and Ethan HD, and Chase James, and a lot more.
Yeah, it's a stacked card. Williams going all out on this one. He wants to get that third sellout in a row for Spokane. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. They got two first tournament matches. They got one for Joey Ryan against Zicky Dice, another one Daga against Sonico. And the winner of that tournament gets to face Filthy Tom Lawler for the Prestige Wrestling Championship. How if you're being that tournament, what are your thoughts going to be on your take on that tournament?
I personally am not a fan of the way that's set up. I am actually in the tournament, but it's really unfair for whoever wins the tournament is going to have to win between 2 and 3 matches and then go face Filthy Tom Lawler. The guy's an ex-UFC star. So to say that I am in the tournament, I can't reveal who my first round opponent is yet. I'll let Prestige do that. But if I get through the first and the second round and make it through that finals, to not think that I'm going to have a backup plan, because I know I'm going to be beat to hell after getting through those rounds of tournaments. And in order to beat Filthy Tom Lawler, someone's going to need that plan B or plan C. And I don't know if anyone else is thinking that far ahead, but I have a lot of friends in the Pacific Northwest, and I don't think Tom has nearly as many friends, and I'll just leave it at that.
But then there's Plan D.
Yeah, exactly. The devil's plan.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Man, we're at the 1 hour and 44-minute mark. Hot dang. This is. I think this might become one of our good episodes.
Oh yeah.
That's what it is. Even if we don't have anybody who's like a former world champion like 20 times, it doesn't matter. I mean, we got who we got. And
Exactly.
So it's cool. I kind of like this guy.
Yeah.
Actually,
I used to talk
I
5 hours a day for morning radio, so I can talk all day.
Correction, I like this guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, by the way, this is an indie, question for me, and I'll probably ask you another WWE pay-per-view question in general. But have you ever heard of a guy named Teddy Goods?
No, I do not know. I'm not.
Oh my gosh, you should probably, if you ever get the chance to meet him, he's a pretty good wrestler in his own right. I think you could find him on Paragon Pro Wrestling or Top Rope Promotions. Have you ever heard of those?
Paragon I had heard of. Where are they based out of?
Oh gosh, well I know. Well, Top Rope Promotions is in Massachusetts. Now for
Okay.
Paragon Pro,
Their filming was down in Vegas, yeah, but
I
because
would
they were
think so,
using, they were using people from the Pacific Northwest. It was a promoter from up here that was doing Paragon, but yeah, I'll definitely check them out and stuff. I don't get to see that much stuff from the Northeast. There's so much wrestling coming out of the Northeast that I don't get to check out that much. So
yeah, so much wrestling on TV too. I mean, like
Yeah.
there's like two, like enough is never enough.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, here's one for it. Okay, I did a huge rant, mind you, about the, Stomping Grounds pay-per-view, like regards to the whole having a SmackDown title being defended against a Raw wrestler, which really, really pissed me off, mind you. And it's like, and not just that, it was also Extreme Rules. Now, most of these things, I call it Stomping Grounds, Crapping Grounds, and the other Extreme Fools. Am I correct?
Sounds right.
Okay, 'cause Brandon was there, I think. And yeah, and I don't. And if you haven't seen them, it's okay. You can check them out on my channel if you want to. But the problem is, what was your take on that whole thing in Tacoma, Washington at Stomping Grounds? Because people like you and me know that once you notice how many people was there, and Brandon knows this for sure, it was not going to be a full sellout event because it was not a big enough of a name, and it wasn't going to sell any tickets that much because it's brand spanking new. And plus, the Tacoma Dome, it could actually fit like maybe, I don't know, 16,000 people. But if it's not a wrestling show, maybe over 20. But still, at this point, no. So, what's your take on that event? Either way.
I feel that right around that time is when the WWE really started figuring out what directions they were going to be heading with the SmackDown to Fox move, and realized that their whole jumping people back and forth, that Fox wanted a specific roster to promote. And so I think they had made plans back when they did the initial draft right after WrestleMania. And then right near the end of the summer is when they were like, crap, that's not going to work out because of this Fox deal. Now we've got to scrap everything we did. And you had like 2 months of just kind of like floating around trying to figure out what they were going to do and trying to get by with time until they got to the Fox deal and the starting of that, and basically doing yet another reset this year. So when you look at it, WWE's already done 2 resets of the roster this year with 2 different draft things. So I feel like any original storylines they wrote coming out of WrestleMania kind of all got scrapped, and it's all been rescheduled out for the next 6 months heading into the next WrestleMania. So those shows felt like they were just kind of thrown together as bide our time until we do this next reset.
Oh my God! And then Hell in a Cell, you obviously know that all that they had those matches promoted, like the ones with Charlotte Flair and Bayley. Then we had like the Hell in a Cell matches, and then there like for the Raw Women's title and the Universal title, which we've already discussed about the ending of that, the Universal title. And then there was Roman and Bryan versus Harper and Rowan. I mean, they had all the time and the patience after, they had 3 weeks to prepare for booked matches, but this all happened last minute. That was like the most god awful thing I could ever see WWE try and do. I mean, hands down, it was the worst. But
I mean, you also, when you look at
there's
it,
a question for you later, but I'll ask in a minute. Go ahead.
I was talking about trying to write 8 hours of TV every week. The average great TV show nowadays is 8 to 12 episodes. So the average TV series for the season is what WWE does in a week. So, I mean, it's a lot. Unfortunately, to write that much TV, you're going to be throwing a lot of crap against the wall and seeing what sticks. And sometimes things like Kofi Kingston all of a sudden like take off and the fans get behind it. And then there's stuff that, just completely gets wiped out and you never see of it again. So, unfortunately, with the WWE and with so much product to put out there, that's what you're going to get probably for forever. I mean, that's just kind of what it is and what it's become with being so big. So we'll see, though. You never know. With competition, they might have to step up the game, and you might see more older wrestlers taking over the writing roles instead of Hollywood writers that are great to write a season of 12 episodes, but now you're going to have to write that season every single week. So.
And no rest for the weary.
Yep.
Also, Jay Houston asked, what's your opinion on Brock Lesnar beating Kofi Kingston? Well, it's not 5 seconds, but 9 seconds. But what's your take on Lesnar beating Kofi in that short amount of time? Because I thought it was stupid.
I thought it was stupid. It was a waste. But on Kofi's side, no matter what, Vince wanted his monster to destroy Kofi. So if I was Kofi, I'd rather just run out there and take one F5 instead of taking 15 Germans and then an F5. And what's the difference between doing a 9-second match? They got more people talking about the match, or if they would have given him a normal 6 to 7 minute long Brock Lesnar match, which Brock still wins. Kofi gets a little bit of offense, but more people talked about the short match, much like when Daniel Bryan lost to Sheamus in WrestleMania. And because of that, it actually made Daniel Bryan stronger amongst the fans because they wanted Daniel even more. I feel like they tried to do that with Kofi here, but the Kofi Mania kind of has already ran its course, and the wrestling fans are very finical and have moved on to the next hot thing for the next 3 to 4 weeks until they see something else that's shiny or another squirrel runs by and they choose what the new flavor of the week is. So
yeah, or flavor of the month too, because I have my own personal opinion on Kofi Kingston's little title reign. The thing is, I don't think it was that too much of a disaster. I mean, let's face facts. At least he was there. The reason why he won the title also, it wasn't just to impress us, certain communities, regardless of race or anything else. See, my opinion, it doesn't matter if you're white, black, or brown. It doesn't matter as long as you do your job. And if you've done it like for 10 or 20 years, it doesn't matter. The more hard work you put in, good things will come out of it. I've always been a believer in hard work pays off, and Kofi Kingston proves my point. And also, if you think about it, even though the end of his title reign may have not been the best, and even though it's well talked about, but at the end of the day, I would have preferred to give him somewhat of a fighting chance, like for 15 minutes, and all that stuff, just for once, just to show that maybe he wouldn't go down without a fight. But that's just a take.
But you still have that option in the future. Kofi Mania can always make another comeback on it.
Oh yeah.
But what it comes down to is that hard work. That if the fans see it and the fans do support it, no matter what Vince has in his head of what he thinks of someone, if they can overcome whatever he throws at them and the fans continue to support him, it shows that guys like Daniel Bryan and Kofi, guys that were never supposed to be more than a mid-card Intercontinental champion, can become that world champion.
Or U.S. champion.
Or U.S. champion. That just mid-card that belt, but can get into that main event situation. But it does take a lot of work, and it's just got to be the right guy, right time, and the fans got to get behind him. So you're always going to have the Roman Reigns and the guys that Vince has handpicked, and Vince will sit there and try to shove them down your throat as much as possible, and he'll try to push the other ones back. But what it comes down to is what's best for business. If Kofi was getting ratings, which he was, is why Kofi Mania exploded, why Kofi got that title, and why he essentially got a title reign that never should have happened. I mean, you really think that WWE made that Daniel Bryan championship to only use it for what, 2 months, if that? They got that. Daniel's run was supposed to be a lot longer, but because of the Kofi thing, and it just right place, right time, and they moved along because Daniel Bryan also knows business and he doesn't care about belts and stuff like that. He just wants to go out there and have fun matches, and he knew he'd do that with Kofi. They had a chance to steal WrestleMania, and I think they kind of did because
They did.
a lot of Mania fell flat after that match. So.
Yeah. And, sorry to say this, but yeah, the main event of this year's WrestleMania, nah, I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, even though it's the first female, oriented WrestleMania main event, still.
Without Kofi Mania exploding so big at the right time, I think that Becky's man push would have got the pop that she needed, the whole man gimmick. But because of the man gimmick taking so long, they had started to lose momentum on it when Kofi was zooming up that month before WrestleMania. So that's why Kofi ended up stealing the show on that. My personal opinion. But I mean, either one, it was kind of, if Kofi wouldn't have shot up, I think Becky would have probably went in with the most momentum into Mania and would have been able to headline it and would have gotten the pop that they wanted. But the fans after Kofi, and the fact that, what was it, a 7-hour show? No fan.
Oh my God.
I was exhausted watching it at home where I think I ordered delivery twice and had everything I needed right in front of me, and I was exhausted. And I looked at the people around me going, how could you even go to the show anymore? Because it would just be miserable. I'd have to show up either halfway through or I'd have to leave halfway through just because I could barely take it in my house laying on a couch where I was comfortable and I had everything I wanted around me.
Yeah, and then it's nap time for about the next 12 hours.
And it's Florida, and it's humid, and it's sticky, and people are touching you, and it'd be a nightmare for me. I'd hate it.
Oh man, it's claustrophobia.
Yep.
Brandon, you got another question for him?
Well, I mean, we're getting a little bit short because I know you got to get to moving though, Drexel and all that, but I have that one more question for you. You guys, do you have like any shout out to the fans and the social media that you need to follow to and all that?
You can find me all over social media. Just look up the Devil Drexel. My Twitter is the Devil Drexel. Instagram's the Devil Drexel. And then I'm really bad with separating real life and Drexel's life. So my Facebook is under Derek Drexel Dutton. And it's a mix of my real life and Drexel and all the other crazy things that I do with my life. My other job, most people don't know, is that I'm an artist all around. I'm a homicidal artist in the ring, but I'm also a graphic designer. And I do a lot of art for wrestlers and for companies. I work for like Hood Slam down in California. Lets me do some really fun posters, and ECCW, DOA, but grindhousegraphics.net is my graphic design company. If anyone needs t-shirts, logos, event posters, things like that, hit me up. And that's how I pay my bills in order to go play Homicidal Maniac on the weekends and be Drexel for all these different companies and get to travel around. Because wrestling, unfortunately, doesn't really pay the bills. It's to the point where I don't lose money like I did 15 years ago, but I also am not making a lot of money on the weekends. Depending on what I sell for merchandise, it covers my bills, pays my gas, pays for food and hotel, and I get to have fun and have these little mini vacations I get to perform. So that's what's important to me.
Did you this little quickie? Did you could you ever consider like making us the logo by any chance, like for Rant and Rave podcast, because we don't really officially have one?
Yeah, hit me up. Tell me what your ideas are. Send me whatever other any inspirations, things like that, any certain styles, whatever. If you check out my website, you see I do a little bit of everything. I try to think outside the box. It's a little bit more on the the fun over the top side. You're not going to see the standard bank ad on there, but you are going to see a lot of cool wrestling and burlesque and artwork for that and wrestlers and stuff. So yeah, check out my stuff. Hit me up. You guys can find me on Facebook or at thedevildrexel@gmail.com works too.
All right. I was thinking like more of the lines of, like a Rant and Rave podcast with Brandon and Jordan. I think it would be like the old TNA logo before the whole one with Hulk Hogan coming up. I'm thinking about that one,
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll take a look and remember exactly what it looked like. But yeah, I'm sure I can make something like that happen. Not a problem.
I actually had fun.
Yeah.
This is like and how long have we gone? Oh, we're almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this has been like one of the best, episodes I think I've ever been part of when it comes to Rant and Rave podcast. But yeah, with that being said, do you have plans, like, say, in a future podcast, if you want to be a part of it? I mean, we could book you for another show.
Yeah. If we can work out a date and stuff like that, I'll come back next year. I don't know, maybe hit me up around WrestleMania time. I think I should be probably going down to Tampa for WrestleMania week and doing shows down there. And if something pops up, like I don't know a lot of my bookings starting at the beginning of the new year, but if there's some huge match coming up for Defy or Prestige or anything like that, just hit me up if you want to talk about it and see if we can arrange a time in an afternoon. So most of the time I'm either doing graphic design, I'm hanging out with my dog, or I'm on the road. So it's one of those three things at all times. So
my dogs were hanging out with me too, and they were all over me.
Yeah. All right, cool. Thanks a lot, guys. It was fun.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, man. God bless you.
Have a good one. Bye.
Yeah, you too.
Well, that was one of the best episodes I think I'm ever going to remember, because I think this is pretty good.
Sorry about that, Jay. Drexel left the building.
Yeah, wait. If you was the name 10 Superstar, what would you have a dream match? Save that question for next time, okay?
Yeah, just save it like till WrestleMania.
No, Brandon. Save the question. Copy it and paste it and put it like, so that way we can keep it.
Oh, yeah, right. That's right. My bad. All right, let me do this.
Well,
but it will be up anyway when the replay comes, But
at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for this special edition. We were sorry for the technical difficulties, but also still, what's done is done. We're not going to edit anything out besides what's going to happen stays, in a Rant and Rave podcast with Brandon and Jordan. And with that being said, if you like this episode of Rant and Rave podcast with Brandon and Jordan, episode 3, give it a like. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. Yeah, thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you disliked it. It's your opinion. Please leave a comment, and also don't forget to subscribe to Brandon Martin. Hit the notification bell. Know when he's going to upload a video or do a live stream at all times. That also goes for me, Jordan Little, J0RDANL177L3. Make sure to subscribe and also hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I'm going to upload a video or do a live stream of my own to be, at all times. And with that being said, I wish you nothing but the best, people. God bless you all. Have a great day and an even better tomorrow.
Indeed, we will. And as for my end, though, yeah, same scenario with me. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. And if you like the Rant and Rave podcast with Brandon and Jordan, episode 3, please give it a thumbs up and please like the video. Leave a comment. If you're brand new to the channel, what are you waiting for, guys? Hit that subscribe button. And plus, tap that notification bell under my name, Brandon Martin, on the YouTube app so you will never miss an upload. Either I upload or do a live stream. And check out the playlist under Rant and Rave podcast with myself and Jordan as well.
When is the next time?
We will have 2 episodes plus, including this one.
And we might change the timing, but still, it only depends, because, you never know what's going to happen on Rant and Rave. I mean, you never know what will happen.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And a big thank you to Drexel for a special guest here on the podcast. And I will post all that for Drexel under all the social medias in the description below. And guys, with that being said, we will see you guys in the next episode of another edition of Rant and Rave podcast with myself and Jordan Little. With that being said, we'll see you guys in the next video.
The Rant and Rave Podcast Archives.